rather than trying to sell contraband on the street. It's amazing stuff for these children, you know, it really gives them a chance.
I had no idea. I'm Vanessa Kanbi and I'm here with Boogz.
Hello.
So nice to see you again. We actually met at the weekend at the meet and create that Wodi Maya set up.
Yeah.
And I was really touched by what you told me there. And so we're going to chat a bit about that, and I actually also interviewed your son. So you'll check out that video in the description below. If you go in there, you'll be able to check out that whole video. I'm like, where do we start with this? Maybe you can tell everyone like what you told me when we first met.
Well, what it was is that we've been watching you for a long time as a family. And start from the beginning, we watched Natural Ghana Girl. Was the first person we watched. I was shown that channel by my children's mother, my wife. That in turn led on to watching you and Wodi Maya and then all the other channels that are sort of attached. Unfortunately for us, we lost Mum a few months ago. So as a source of comfort, we've been still watching all the channels. She used to religiously watch you, so we'd have you on our telly all the time. And I told the children that we are going to Ghana and that we will meet everybody that Mum used to watch on the TV. They've obviously said that, no, Dad, you're gassing, because I do it probably sometimes. They said, no, it's not going to happen. Yeah, whatever, Dad. Lo and behold, I came to the create late, Ghana timing, and everybody was still there. So I managed to meet yourself and was able to tell you what I wanted to tell you face to face, and to Wodi Maya as well, and to Della as well. And was able to send pictures to the children who were amazed and shocked. And then when I was able to tell them that, you know, that you said you would like to speak and interview Kofi, that, yeah, that they were just so happy. So they now believe that Dad does tell the truth sometimes.
Yeah, I'm honestly, when you told me that, I was struggling to keep the tears in, and even, you know, now, like seeing kids and everything, I had no idea that, you know, I make the videos, I put them up there, and I do think people are going to enjoy it, but I would never have thought that it would, you know, bring, you know, you would still be watching them after your wife has, you know, I just had no idea how much impact they can actually have, basically. Yeah. And so, yeah, I knew that I had to like meet your kids and stuff like that, and it's been so nice. And I think also that you were telling me that it was your wife's dream to move here.
That's right, yeah, it was actually working towards that. So she was a child psychologist in school. So she was building up in school to start her own practice here in Ghana. Her dad actually lives here.
Oh, right,
He's been our point of contact. She actually brought the children most years on holiday to Ghana for the full 6 weeks holiday.
Oh, right.
I didn't come every year because sometimes I'll be working, but I'd come half of the time, I'd come. So her dream was to be here, but unfortunately, as tomorrow is never promised, she never was able to make it. But then that spurred me on to think, you know what, we need to do something, make that change, do what we can to have a good life. So I thought, let me try and make something better for the children. Just got ready and came, like within months, literally within months.
Do you want to move when your wife was saying she wanted to move?
Yes, most definitely. It was both of our dreams. I keep saying it was her dream, it was both of our dreams. And it's been my dream from as long as I can remember. I can remember thinking this when I was Malachi's age, my son's age. I can remember thinking that I want to live in Ghana. I can remember feeling not fully at home in the UK. I can remember just feeling that this is home, even though it was talked so badly about by my own relatives, by people from Ghana that have come to the UK from GH. I just knew this is where I want to be. I don't know why, it feels right. So it was both our dreams, and one of the things we discussed when we first met, I remember.
Oh,
yeah, so
wow.
we knew that we were going to do this at some point. I remember being in construction, even doing the design of a house that we were going to build, and this is like, I'm talking 20 years ago I was doing this. Yeah, it was both of our dreams, but we're working towards it. And I think one of the things that held us back, and it holds loads of people back, is that you start saying, I've got to have this amount of money, or I've got to be in this position, and that's what we were doing. And it just stops you from actually making the move. My mum and dad are both from here. her mum and her dad is from here, and we've got so many links here that it would have been easy for us to make the move.
And when you got to that point of you wanted to make the move, were you set up? You know, did you have everything set up for you, or were you just like, I'm just going now?
Nah, nothing was set up at all. I just made calls to my cousins, said, look, I'm coming. They called to give their condolences, and I said, look, will you help me? I'm looking to bring the children to Ghana. I said, whatever you need. You know, all of them just said, yep, no worry, you'll be fine here, the children will be fine. Just get yourself over here. So that was it. I bought the tickets, and that gave me a countdown.
Or like a deadline.
Yes,
right.
Exactly that. So once I'd done that, that was it. I was getting prepared, shipping, housing, just everything was getting sorted out.
Oh, okay. How has it been since you've moved here?
It's been, I ain't gonna lie, it's been challenging. Yeah, it's still happy, you're around your family, but getting everything arranged and also the culture difference, being in Ghana, is still hard to change, to adapt to fall in line with, and some of the attitudes you find a bit different. I don't know, there's no urgency, you know, there's no urgency,
true.
You get used to that. But yeah, it's still very nice, still the weather's good. Definitely much more family orientated culture, and yeah, still happy to be here. Never going to complain. You know, I'll be happy to complain about what I've got to complain about.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you'd rather be complaining here than in the UK.
Yeah.
I want to move on to now like business and what you do here, and also you were telling me about, you know, the car you've bought and what you can do with it.
I'm into construction. I'm a dry lining management. When I used to come to Ghana, they would use some of the modern construction techniques, but they didn't do it well at all. They didn't really know how to do it. And I actually come from a background of teaching those modern techniques.
Oh, right.
I worked for a large company in the UK as an instructor. So when we had new products come on the market, I'd train people to use them. I was that level of construction, so something that I knew was going to be possibly in my future in coming to Ghana.
I mean, it's the perfect thing to be into here. Like, there's literally construction on every
Constantly,
road.
everywhere. It's non-stop. Even now we can see them all over when we're looking around here. Knew how to get into that, but I have to work into it. So I've got family that are already into it. So again, I'm lucky, so I've been helped. So wonderful. I'd love to give them a shout out, but I don't know if I mentioned them on here. They're so really been supportive and even brought me into their company straight away.
Oh,
to say, look,
perfect.
come work with us and we'll help you out, and vehicle and everything. It's like, wow, thank you.
Good.
So that's really great. There's so many different opportunities, and one of them that I found was Uber cars. So you can buy a car here for what we'd consider quite small in the UK. You can then use that car yourself if you want to, or you just hire it out for 2 years on a 2-year contract with a driver. They completely look after the vehicle, so that means they have to take care of it because they're hiring it to own it. So after the 2 years, they will own the vehicle.
Right, okay.
So they give you a certain amount every week, which literally amounts, by the end of the 2 years, it amounts to double the vehicle value.
Okay, I see. What do they call it again? Is it work to pay, or?
I think that is the term, yeah.
Other thing actually that we were discussing before we started the cameras rolling was you were talking about London and some of the culture around gang culture.
Yeah.
And that was one of the reasons why you wanted to get out.
In London, it's not a secret that there is an issue with gang culture and knife crime. And it's been put on the young black youths, especially around my son's age group. It's something very dear to my heart because I grew up in it. But luckily enough, I think I grew up in a time when, or I had people around me that keep you focused on what actual real life is. Unfortunately, I feel for some of the youth now is that with the music and the influences from outside and the internet, that they believe this is the life, this is their only life, and that's the only choice they've got. So it was something I was passionately working against and trying to help the children to find other avenues, give them other opportunities, especially coming from a place where I could relate to them a little bit, having all my friends and everything, us growing up in it. So I've been a semi-activist for a while in the UK with a lot of people, especially my little brother Respect Rebellion, who really is out there on the front line.
I've seen his work and follow him online. He's doing a lot of good work.
That's my guy. That's my. Me and him were. In fact, I was one of saddest points is leaving and telling him that I was coming to Ghana. And yeah, he's really on the front line. He really is out here for the youth. Teaming up with him allowed me, he created a couple of organisations, one being what was called GANG, and it was an acronym for Guiding a New Generation, which is still running at the moment. And he also has another one, the Forever Family, which is trying to create that village sort of feel to their communities so we can help each other and look out for any problems and guide the youth and give them other opportunities rather than trying to sell contraband on the street and make money legitimately, you know, becoming plumbers or plasterers, because as we discovered is that a lot of these guys are out there thinking they're making lots of money selling drugs, but really and truthfully if they're out on a construction site they're making a lot more money and then not having to worry about looking over their shoulder, which is the message we're trying to get across. So I was doing that a lot in the UK, and it was one of the reasons why I came, simply because there's so many stories of young men being killed or murdered through mistaken identity or just being in the wrong place at the wrong time, you know, and then our society has now accepted this as the norm. If you see a young black boy in his life come up, fine, it was his fault, when really a lot of the time it's not their fault. A lot of the time they're not in that and didn't know that world, but they're now suffering as a result of that world.
Both your parents were from Ghana. Were they living in the UK with you?
Yes, yeah. They're still there now.
Oh, right, okay. Why do you think, you know, because I guess some people might think, you know, you're from a Ghanaian family, you know, might be strict, not sure how your parents were. My dad actually wasn't that strict and he's from here, but I know that there is quite a lot of Ghanaian parents that are strict. What do you think happens, because you said you were involved in that sort of life?
That's right.
Why do you think that happened?
I've seen it firsthand, and I know because now I've learned what happened to me. And there is something that we call the schools to prison pipeline, and there is a blatant thing that happens to a young black boy from when they're in primary. They'll excel. I excelled. You go all the way through primary up until end of primary, you're still doing well. You get to early stage of secondary, you're still okay, especially pre-pubescent. Once you become older into early teens, there's a change. There's a massive drop in how well young black boys do in school, and they try and attribute it to just those children are no good, which it can't be, because there's loads of children like myself who came from a very good home. Mum and dad worked, we lived in a lovely house, big back garden, we had bikes, you know, we had a good life. You know, I did have friends who lived in the estate who were very poor and struggling, but I weren't struggling the way they were struggling. But it happens to all of us. When I was walking home from school, the police would stop us and harass us, and that creates a contempt for authority and for society that we're in. Things like that, lots of other things in schools, the teachers talk to you and speak to you differently, and then you get to a certain age and they are expelled from school sometimes for something that your other counterpart would do. It wouldn't be a problem. They're a teenager, that's what happens, but for you it's the end of the world, and you're now out of school and they're making decisions that actually affect your life later. As I say, I can speak from my own experience of being a top student in school, above average, I won't say top, above average, getting to 2 weeks before my GCSEs, play fighting with my friends and being expelled for play fighting with my friends. Which is strange, because those same friends were the type of students that are throwing board rubbers at the school teacher and being mega rude. I was never that, you know. Yeah, that's one thing
It's like systemic racism.
It's systemic, it's in there. And, you know, we've even had a report recently, they just deny it even exists.
Yeah,
they just deny it exists. It's like, are you kidding me?
Outrageous.
That's one of my biggest reasons. I feel that God himself, Most High, has said to me, look, you can get out there, you can do something out here. You can possibly be a bridge for maybe some of them coming out here and doing a rites of passage maybe. I don't know, there's some guys that do that in the UK already. And they will get children from the UK, bring them over here, Nigeria, Gambia, Ghana, and it's amazing stuff for these children, you know, it really gives them a chance. That's the reason why I've come out here, especially to give my boy that hope of better hope than what he might have in the UK.
I mean, I think any, you know, parent who's seen the other side and the other options would make the same decision as you have as well.
Yeah.
And from speaking to him, he seems to be enjoying himself here. And yeah, again, you guys can check out that video in the description. He started his own YouTube channel talking about living here and making that move.
The Adapting African Coffee.
Yeah, so check that out. And you also have a channel as well.
Yes, my channel's Papa Boogz.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'll put that in the description below as well. So check that out. Should we get the children in? Do you want to get the children in?
Come,
Do you want to come in?
I'll keep calling you Malachi. I just say coffee. Coffee, come.
Is Kofi in your name, or is it just because it's the day of the...
Yeah,
Oh, right,
'cause it's
okay.
his day, yeah.
So here we are with the whole family. So nice to meet you all, and thanks for coming on the channel.
Thank you so much.
Oh, no
It's been
problem.
great, and I'd like to thank you as well, because as I say, you've been a major part of our, you're now part of our journey, part of our story. So thank you so much for all your videos and all the time and effort you spent on them and that as well.
Oh
So
no,
thank you.
I'm so happy to do it, especially to see, you know, that it makes an impact to people and that people are enjoying the videos as well. This is such a great day.
Thanks.